What's going on, man? What an absolute crazy game last night. Really the perfect way to end this college football season. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little surprised. Personally, there was a couple nights where I'm like, dude, there's no way Alabama loses. The main reason why is because they literally just played like just over a month ago and Bama won by what, 3 scores? I thought for sure through the air Bryce Young was going to be able to tear him up. Obviously, that was not the case. So I lost my $100. Once they lost Jamison Williams, it was really crazy to see that it was like they didn't have any other weapons. Nobody else stepped up. I mean, and you can miss me with the whole, you know, they had a freshman plan. I don't care. You got to have them ready to go, and you should have had them developed throughout the year. The reason why I say there's no excuses because Ohio State, that's all we freaking did this year is play freshmen. The worst part for Alabama is they got down to the red zone like 3 times and couldn't come up with a touchdown. All they got was field goals. But watching that Georgia defense fly around, it was crazy to see the speed and the pursuit angles, how perfect they were, and the nice form tackling. Like, that's just fundamentals and technique you don't see anywhere else in the country. I'll always say this year was a very weird year for the top tier programs that normally win it almost every year. Clemson obviously struggled. Alabama struggled most of the year. They had a lot of close games that we wouldn't think would be close games. Oklahoma struggled this year. And obviously Ohio State was not as dominant as normal. Is it a coincidence that all these teams struggle? I don't think so. I think a lot of it has to do with, because of the COVID year, a lot of these other programs returned a lot of players. And when you still have the programs at the top, they're still going to lose a crap ton of players to the NFL. That's just my take on it. It's not an excuse. Those are facts. Like, I'll be interested to see what Georgia does next year when they lose. I would imagine they would lose, what, like half their defense? I would definitely expect Bama to be back, being Bama. And the wait starts today, though. It's gonna be a long off season, but we're gonna be covering all of it with college football. I would say probably the most surprising thing to me this year were the Clemson Tigers and how bad they struggled this year. I did not see that coming. I don't think a lot of people did, especially week 1 when they played against Georgia, and that was such a low scoring close game. We thought it was just a classic, you know, good game. It really just showed that both teams have a really good D-line, solid defense, but at that point both teams did not have a great offense. It'll be interesting with what Clemson does now that they lost their DC and there's a little bit of turnover, especially on the defensive side. It'll be interesting to see. That was probably the biggest disappointment of this year, I would say, if you're a Clemson fan. I think the happiest fan base other than Georgia fans are probably Michigan fans. We're finally getting the win over Ohio State, winning a Big Ten championship, and at least going to the playoff. Probably about 90% of Michigan fans I see, you know, on Twitter and everything, they're all good with how the season went. I mean, it was your first playoff, you know, appearance. We're going to go in depth on a later video about their roster moving forward, but man, they are going to have a lot of turnover. They're going to finally understand how it feels to be like an Ohio State, to be like an Alabama, where you lose most of your guys. So can Jimmy, you know, develop them and get them going early? Who knows? I just want to recap this video with my final thoughts on this college football season. There's so many awesome moments. But as we head into the off season, I'm going to be covering a lot of stuff here on this channel. So if you like this kind of content, make sure you hit that subscribe button for me. Drop down below who your favorite college football team is, and I'll catch you guys later.